Emily stood in front of her parents, frustration evident in her voice.
Even though I'm not a researcher, you can't deceive your own daughter like this. It's an insult to my intelligence. Radiation? Why didn't I turn into Spider-Man then? That little creature can jump around and spin webs. How cool is that?
Emily, calm down. We didn't mean to deceive you.
Look at our family. John is 5 feet 7 inches, Mary is 5 feet 3 inches, both pretty average. Negative plus negative equals positive? But no matter what, I've grown this tall, and I can't just cut off a piece of my legs. Since I usually can't find women's pants that fit, I often wear the same ones as David.
We understand it's frustrating, honey.
This leads to, well, I get beaten up when I go to the women's restroom. So frustrating. What? Why don't I wear skirts? The image is too beautiful. I'm afraid you'll throw up.
Hey, Emily, don't be so hard on yourself. You're not bad looking, just a bit androgynous.
David says it's fine as long as I'm not mistaken for an animal. Seriously, I could beat you up so badly you'd be mistaken for one, believe it or not.
Calm down, sis. I'm just saying you look fine.
David, 2 years older than Emily, had a CEO's physique and a baby face, paired with an innocent expression. He never needed a wingman to pick up girls. Thanks to him, Emily had great relationships with girls.
Initially, they all try to flirt with me, but when they realize there's no chance, they go for David. He's a genuine heartthrob, well, not exactly. He doesn't accept anyone but also doesn't break anyone's heart. He's a pseudo-heartthrob.
Oh, come on, Emily. You're just jealous of my charm.
Oh, by the way, I was quite famous in high school, not for any particular reason, just because of one word, handsome. The line of girls chasing me could form a battalion. But don't fall in love with me, it won't end well. Even though I look androgynous, my gender is quite clear.
Emily never expected that with her androgynous looks. She'd run into trouble as soon as she entered college. Her assigned dorm wouldn't let her in.
I told Aunt Jane I was a girl. Aunt Jane said, I'm not blind, kid. Drop off your girlfriend and leave. Tomorrow is military training. Where am I supposed to go? John is at the base, Mary is in the lab, and David, right, I can go find David.
But David's phone was off.
I took out my ID to show Aunt Jane, and she looked suspicious. Is fake ID technology this advanced now?
In the end, Emily's girl squad came downstairs to rescue her.
That's right, folks, I have a girl squad. Jealous? Don't be. Unless you can carry their shopping bags every time we go out.
Despite the challenges, Emily always found a way to navigate her unique world with a mix of humor and resilience. The next day of military training, I sat on my bed, feeling utterly dejected and unable to sleep. Why is the bed in the dorm so short?
It's okay, Max. We can push the beds together so you can stretch out.
I was touched. Girls are the best. There are 4 of us in the dorm, and interestingly, our dorm is a large suite with 2 smaller rooms sharing a bathroom, making it an 8-person dorm. How should I put it? 7 fairies and their bodyguard? But fortunately, they are all adorable girls, each with a distinct personality and high attractiveness. Upon asking, I found out that besides Lily and me, who are in the law department, Emily is in the finance department, and the other girls are in the arts department. Indeed, 7 fairies and their bodyguard. Oh my, it's a pity I'm a girl. So frustrating. At first, the girls were startled when they saw me, but after realizing I was also a girl, they started chattering around me, asking all sorts of questions.
The president of the physics department's student council. What's your relationship with him? You two look a bit alike.
He's my brother, same parents.
Then why is your last name Max and his last name Zhang?
My dad's last name is Zhang, and my mom's last name is Max.
They're
not separated, still together. They see each other maybe 3 or 4 times a year. Even if they wanted to split, they wouldn't have the time.
I didn't even mention that they both work at this school, with projects, funds, and research topics. Anyway, they have plenty of resources and are not to be messed with. But what does that have to do with me? I'm studying law, nothing to do with research. The next day, Lily and I got up early, washed up, and went downstairs to the cafeteria for breakfast. As soon as we entered, there was a buzz of activity. Wow.
Why did you bump into me? It really hurt.
A girl holding a cup, no, half a cup of soy milk, looked at me with teary eyes. Was she glaring at me? Why did she look so bashful?
I bumped into you? You bumped into me, okay? And you spilled soy milk all over me.
I tugged at my soaked camouflage uniform, frowning. I didn't know how I had offended her. One moment she looked all affectionate, and the next, she rolled her eyes and walked away when I spoke. I was dumbfounded. What kind of person is this? Why didn't she apologize after bumping into me and spilling soy milk all over me? She even rolled her eyes at me.
Who does she think she is? Just because she's pretty doesn't mean she can leave her brain at home.
The fairies quickly pulled me back.
Calm down, Max. She's just immature, probably spoiled.
Exactly, you don't know Sophia. She's the niece of the department head.
I was stunned. Does being the department head's niece make her so arrogant? What about the department head's own daughter? I hummed a couple of times, remembering my dad's call yesterday, reminding me to keep a low profile. My mom also sent a video message, advising me not to provoke other girls. She only wants to find me a son-in-law. One daughter-in-law is enough for my brother. Mom is wise, and I agree. Looking down at my soy milk-soaked uniform, I realized there wasn't time to change, so I reluctantly rinsed it off at the cafeteria sink and joined the fairies for breakfast. The fairies' stunning looks drew everyone's attention in the cafeteria. Boys were looking at the girls, no doubt, but the girls were...
What are you all winking at each other for?
We just think. Max, you were really born the wrong gender.
I quickly stopped her from continuing.
Don't say it. Only marry, not wed. Heartache, understand?
Got it.
The 7 fairies nodded in unison. So obedient. But they didn't stay quiet for long before they started chattering again.
Hey, look, that's our new instructor.
Where?
Over there lining up. So handsome.
I lowered my head, eating my bun, thinking, of course, uniforms are attractive. The best ones are all serving the country. As I was finishing my last bun and about to get up, there was a sudden splash. A bowl of hot millet porridge was poured down the back of my neck.
What are you doing?
Lily, with her fiery temper, immediately grabbed Sophia's hand, almost slapping her. Yes, it was Sophia who poured the porridge. Poured, not spilled. The cafeteria was buzzing with chatter when suddenly, Sophia's voice cut through the noise.
What are you doing? Let go of me. If you mess with me, you'll regret it.
Sophia was being unreasonable, pushing and shoving Lily. Emily and the rest of the girl squad quickly gathered around Max.
Max, are you okay?
Max, in pain but silent, quickly took off his outer shirt, revealing a loose camouflage t-shirt underneath.
Oh my gosh, your neck is all red. Hurry, get some cold water, get an ice pack.
Given the state of Max's chest development, taking off his outer shirt made him look more like a guy. Plus, he worked out regularly and had an 8-pack. The small muscles on his arms were also visible. Sophia's expression was visibly stunned. Her mouth twitched.
What kind of problem is it to drool over someone else's muscles?
Max picked up his dirty outer shirt, glanced at her, and headed to the infirmary. The girls stayed behind, busy arguing with Sophia. Max was late for the military training mobilization meeting that day. Unfortunately, he was supposed to give a speech as the representative of the law department. Luckily, Lily had a copy of his speech and went up to read it, stumbling through it. When Max returned from the infirmary, the department head, Professor Lee, called him in to ask about the incident.
Max, don't take it too hard. Everyone encounters a few bad apples in their life journey.
Huh? What do you mean, Professor?
Is your dad back yet?
Not yet.
Is your mom back yet?
Not yet either.
Well, that makes things a bit tricky.
Professor, what do you mean? What does this have to do with my parents?
You know Sophia is Mr. Brown's niece, right? The one from the art department.
Max knew, the bald guy who had a notorious reputation.
I don't know him.
It's not surprising you don't. He doesn't know you're Mr. Smith's daughter either. He doesn't even know you're a girl. Now he's asking around about you.
Asking about what?
He's asking if you have a girlfriend.
Max was stunned.
His niece has a crush on you.
Thanks, but no thanks.
But he's also asking about someone else. Your brother, Eric.
Max wasn't surprised. No one could escape Eric's charm.
But my brother has a girlfriend.
Oh, really? That's good, that's good. Which department? Is she from our school?
Not from our school, she's from the neighboring aviation academy. I think she flies armed helicopters.
The professor was stunned again.
Oh, really? That's good, that's good.
The professor thought Max was bragging, but he wasn't. His future sister-in-law was his brother's high school classmate. If his brother hadn't failed the physical exam, he might have been her comrade.
A female pilot! An armed helicopter!
Just thinking about it was exciting. Max's mom had said if his brother dared. As I returned to the class formation from the professor's office, I saw someone who would soon become my sister-in-law.
Hesitantly, reporting in.
She nodded at me expressionlessly, signaling me to return to the formation, and then continued her speech. Suddenly, I remembered my brother mentioning that the training was being conducted by a certain fleet, but he didn't specify it was a fleet named after a place. All morning, I was in a daze. During the break, Sophia came over again.
Sirius, reporting in, I'm looking for Max.
That's right, Max is my name. Who would guess it's a girl's name?
Two scientists, with perfectly functional brains, couldn't they have put a bit more thought into naming me? So lazy.
I internally complained about my parents once again, and then watched Sophia pretending to be shy as she glanced towards our class formation. Lily, sitting next to me, nudged my arm.
What's that little drama queen doing here?
Serious, drama queen? That description doesn't quite fit. After all, drama queens can be pretty cute.
Excited, maybe the young lady's brain is having another short circuit.
Unfriendly, young lady?
She's the niece of the department head.
Curious, Mr. Johnson's niece?
Serious, no, Mr. Brown's.
Confused, which Mr. Brown?
Friendly, the one from the art department.
Relieved, oh, the bald one. I was wondering when I got a cousin.
Oh right, I forgot to introduce Anna, Mr. Johnson's daughter. So it's not surprising that we grew up together. Of course, we keep it low-key. No one knows that Lily's father is the head of the second department of the law school. The second department specializes in criminal law. People like Professor Lee, who transitioned from the military, are particularly wary of nepotism. If it weren't for that, he would have gone to the neighboring aviation academy years ago.
Curious, so why is she looking for you?
Serious, how would I know?
Shouting, who's whispering? If you need to speak, report it. Who was talking just now?
Sister-in-law is so fierce, sob sob.
Nervous, reporting in. I have a stomachache.
Angry, if you have a stomachache, report it and go to the restroom.
Whispering, okay.
Shouting, what?
Serious, yes, instructor.
Angry, hurry up and come back, you'll be punished with an hour of standing at attention.
I'm stunned. Sister-in-law, you'll lose your little sister-in-law like this. I hadn't run far when I heard Sophia shouting behind me.
Shouting, Max, wait for me.
Wait for you. No way. The more she chased, the faster I ran. Until I ran into the women's restroom.
Terrified, oh no, Max, you went into the wrong one. That's the women's restroom.
Angry, no, it's not wrong. I'm a girl, what's wrong with me going into the women's restroom?
Sophia was stunned.
Trembling, you're a girl?
Serious, absolutely.
I was even thinking of letting her feel for herself. But considering my current development, she'd probably only feel my chest muscles, so I decided against it.
Shouting, you're lying.
Serious, want me to go back and get my ID to show you?
Confused, how can you be a girl? You have abs.
Serious, why can't girls have abs?
Whispering, you're so tall.
Serious, why can't girls be tall?
Shy, and, you're so handsome.
Serious, why can't girls be handsome?
The martial arts gym was bustling with activity. Students were practicing their routines, but in the corner, a heated conversation was unfolding.
I've been practicing martial arts since I was a child. I'm a black belt in Taekwondo, have won medals in Muay Thai, and placed third nationwide in traditional routines. I'm tall, have abs, and can fight because I've been training, eating healthy, and living a disciplined life since I was young. Is there a problem with that?
Liam paused, his frustration evident. He realized the need to clarify his point.
I won't say it's genetic, though my brother is also tall. But considering our parents' heights, forget it, it's not convincing. We siblings are probably genetic anomalies.
But you, how can you be a girl?
Why can't I be a girl?
You can't be a girl?
Sophia was on the verge of tears. Liam had no idea why she was so upset, even crying. He started to think her logic might be a bit off.
Why can't I be a girl?
You're a girl and you still tried to seduce me? What are you up to?
Liam was taken aback.
Me seduce you? Hey, classmate, do you have a bit of a narcissistic personality and delusions? We've only met twice. Once you spilled soy milk all over me, and the other time you poured rice soup on me. You never even apologized. The blisters on the back of my neck haven't healed yet.
You. Pervert!
She slapped Liam across the face and ran off, leaving him in shock. Liam walked out of the girls' restroom, holding his face, to find a crowd gathered outside. As soon as they saw him, they had this look of sudden realization.
So, she really is a fake man?
Ugh. Scumbag, no, scumbag woman, how shameless.
Poor girl.
Liam was about to explain, but they shook their heads and dispersed, muttering insults as they went.
This is just absurd.
Liam had barely taken a few steps when a sharp pain hit his lower abdomen. He grimaced, remembering his struggles.
I've been a tomboy since I was little, always running around with my brother. When I became an adult, I didn't know how to take care of myself, eating all sorts of cold and spicy foods. As a result, my monthly cycle is excruciating, almost unbearable.
Mary, his friend, had her own theories.
Menstrual pain is a hormonal issue and has little to do with diet. I can tell your testosterone levels are high just by looking at you, and the pain is a reminder that you're still a girl and should act like one.
A bunch of pseudoscientific nonsense.
Today was the first day of military training, and Liam still had to go back and stand at attention for an hour.
Just thinking about it makes me want to collapse.
Determined to leave a good impression on his future sister-in-law and not embarrass his brother, Liam changed clothes in the dorm and went back to the training ground.
Actually, I'm in pretty good shape, except for these few days every month.
An hour later, I was nearly sunburned, and it was just about time for lunch.
Relieved, finally, a break.
I rushed back to the dormitory with some help. At critical moments, childhood friends are the most reliable. Back in the dorm, I managed to drink a few sips of porridge before taking some painkillers and lying down. Unfortunately, my stomach felt like it was being hammered, making it impossible to sleep, and I was dizzy, probably due to low blood sugar during my period.
Max, how about I ask for leave for you this afternoon? It's just some drills, nothing major.
No, I can't let David down.
What's the big deal about asking for leave? Why are you so serious about it?
Dear, my period lasts 7 days, and I have pain for all 7 days. Our military training is only a few days long.
7 days.
Exactly, so how can I ask for leave?
Then just skip the training. After all, my dad is.
Don't mention your dad. Your dad and my dad are like 2 peas in a pod. If you don't want my dad to give me a political lecture when he gets back, don't tell your dad.
But you can't go on like this.
It's fine. I can manage.
Before long, the other 6 girls in the dorm returned. The first day of military training wasn't particularly exhausting, but being suddenly dragged out to the field for half a day was quite a shock, especially for the pretty girls from the arts department. They would be devastated if they got tanned.
Lily, please take out the pile of sunscreen products my mom had prepared for me. Some of them aren't even on the market yet. She made them herself in the lab.
Sure thing.
Hee. Sometimes doing a bit of research can be quite useful.
What's this?
Sunscreen. It's very effective. You can try it.
What brand is it?
No brand. It's homemade.
The girl hesitated for a moment, but eventually applied it to her face.
So refreshing, and it smells good. Does it really work? If it does, I'll buy a few bottles from you.
It's not mine, it's Max's. Max's mom made it. It's free.
The girl was stunned for a moment, looked at me on the bed, hesitated for a while, and then whispered something in Lily's ear. Lily's face turned pale. I didn't have the energy to ask what she had heard to make her look so concerned. I just wanted this dreadful period to end quickly. The pain was unbearable. Compared to the menstrual cramps, the small blisters on the back of my neck were nothing.
Can I borrow some? I seem to be sensitive to the sun.
She pointed to her forehead, and when Lily and the others looked closer, they saw it.
Oh my, what's going on? Why do you have a bunch of tiny bumps?
I don't know. I used to work in the fields back home and never got sunburned like this.
Clutching my stomach, I got up from the bed and looked at the tiny bumps on her forehead.
It's a reaction to UV rays. You used to live inland, and now you're in a coastal city. It's normal to have some acclimatization issues.
I pulled out a bottle of repair lotion.
This is suitable for you. Take it.
Thank you. How much is it?
My mom made it herself.
In the afternoon, I dragged myself out of bed, feeling half dead, to attend military training. My body wasn't in the best shape, making it hard to perform the exercises correctly, and I kept getting penalized for it. To make matters worse, for some reason, Mr. Johnson decided to call in the school TV station. Our school TV station is usually just students having fun with cameras, but they do have a video platform account. So that evening, I saw myself on the school forum, struggling through push-ups as a punishment. Fortunately, I work out regularly, so my form was decent. The veins on my arms stood out as I pushed myself up and down, my face growing paler with each movement. Sarah finally noticed something was wrong with me. She called for a 10-minute break and walked over to me. The first thing she saw was the back of my neck.
Stop. Get up.
I stood up, feeling dizzy.
What happened to your neck?
It's a burn.
What could have caused a burn like that?
I spilled hot porridge on myself in the cafeteria this morning.
As soon as I said that, the class started murmuring. How could a spill accidentally burn such a spot?
Are you feeling unwell?
I nodded.
Can you leave? You're disrupting our training.
After she spoke, she somehow produced a needle and came towards me.
Officer, I have a fear of needles.
I tried to dodge, but she grabbed my collar and pulled me down.
You need to pop the blister for it to heal faster. Do you have burn ointment?
Yes, I got some from the infirmary this morning.
Make sure to apply it.
Yes, thank you, Sarah. Thank you, officer.
She gave me a look, and I scratched my head awkwardly.
Eric is my brother. My real brother.
I know. Your name is quite unique.
Haha, I've complained about my parents' naming choices countless times. Even though we're just a school TV station, our efficiency is pretty high. By the evening, the video from the afternoon was uploaded to the platform. The glistening sweat under the sun and the vibrant young faces were all so full of youth, except, who filmed this? The officer was just helping me with the blister. Why did it look so ambiguous? What's going on? It looked like there was some chemistry. The comments below the video were full of, OMG, this is killing me. I ship this couple so hard. I'm voting for the officer, please notice me. I'm voting for the guy from the second department. He's so handsome. His pale face is the epitome of tragic beauty. Oh, it seems not many people know I'm a girl. Well, that's fine. Wait, if they think I'm a guy, isn't that even worse? Oh well, I'm just a girl, no big deal. Misunderstandings will clear up eventually. I watched for a while, got bored, took a painkiller, and went to sleep. I ended up sleeping for 2 days. I had a fever, probably from the burn, and had to take sick leave. I spent the whole day lying in the dorm, half conscious, unaware that the video had garnered a lot of inexplicable comments. The sharp pain in my lower abdomen jolted me awake. As I tried to gather myself, I overheard a heated conversation between Lily and another girl at the foot of my bed.
What did you say? She really said that?
Yes, she did. She even questioned why the only female instructor wasn't assigned to the art department, where there are more girls, but instead to the second law department.
And she said Max tried to flirt with her on the first day of school, and when it didn't work, he cornered her in the bathroom and acted inappropriately.
Oh my! You didn't tell them Max is a girl?
We did, but they said Max has issues with her orientation.
Seriously, a lot of dorms in our building have already signed a petition to get Max to move out.
I slowly sat up in bed, looking like I had just risen from the dead, startling the 7 girls around me.
Max, you're awake? Don't mind what those people are saying, they're just talking nonsense.
I nodded weakly, not having the energy to care. I just wanted a sip of hot water.
It's okay, there are idiots everywhere. Here, have some hot water.
Emily handed me a cup of hot water. Oh, Emily, you're truly kind-hearted.
Is your face feeling better?
My questions seemed to make the atmosphere awkward among the girls.
What happened?
It's that Sophia again. She smashed the sunscreen you gave to Emily.
Why? What did I ever do to deserve this?
She said you're pretending to be a man and that Emily is involved with you.
She said all of us in the dorm are involved with you.
She claimed you got this big dorm room through connections. Otherwise, how could such good-looking people be in one place?
Oh, so which dorm does Sophia live in?
Her uncle arranged for her to stay in a single apartment.
I nearly spat out my hot water.
Isn't that for graduate students and teaching assistants? What right does an undergraduate have to live there?
Didn't I just say? Her uncle arranged it. She's so hypocritical. Oh, and I asked you to take a leave, but you didn't. Sophia, on the other hand, gets a leave slip every day and sits in the shade wearing high heels, watching us train.
She comes to our class to watch us train.
Yes.
Is she out of her mind?
I think she's seriously unwell. She specifically comes to look for you. If you're not there, she leaves, only to come back later to check again. Oh, and she's been telling everyone you're a girl.
I am a girl.
And that you like girls.
I like girls? How come I didn't know that?
She said you tried to flirt with her and then cornered her in the girls' bathroom.
I was stunned. Oh, right, that's what they were talking about earlier.
You don't believe that, do you?
The girls shook their heads in unison.
Of course we don't.
Exactly. You have no idea how over the top Sophia is. Not only does she skip military training, but she also sits in the shade eating watermelon and ice cream, mocking those who don't perform well.
She even bullies Emily, calling her poor.
Emily is a top student in the finance department, admitted with a scholarship. What right does Sophia have to mock her?
Exactly. Why can't she just stay in her own department? Why is she always wandering around?
I heard her uncle has a lot of influence in the art department. Anyone who crosses her doesn't end well.
Does her uncle outrank the principal? Who does she think her uncle is?
Lily and I exchanged glances, thinking, look at her. Just because she's the niece of a department head, she acts so arrogantly. And then look at us. Lily is the actual daughter of a department head. It's truly frustrating. The next day, my fever had subsided, and I joined everyone downstairs for breakfast.
Relieved, finally, some normalcy.
This was my first real encounter with what they call gossip.
Annoyed, did no one teach you that staring is rude?
Especially in the cafeteria, even the chef gave me a couple of extra glances.
Angry, chef, I used to come here with John and Mary all the time. How come a few days have passed, and you act like you don't know me anymore?
The chef recognized me. He served me a big bowl of fried rice, and even gave me a cup of egg drop soup.
Friendly, don't worry, girl. Your family has David to carry on the lineage.
Annoyed, chef, I don't want fried rice. I want steamed buns.
Perhaps learning from the previous incident, Lily and the rest found a seat with our backs to the wall and placed me in the middle.
Confused, was that really necessary?
Just as I was feeling speechless, I saw Emily walking over with a few bags of buns. Suddenly, Sophia appeared out of nowhere.
Curious, where did she come from?
Not only did she appear, but she also managed to spill soup all over Emily again.
Concerned, fortunately, a quick-thinking guy pulled Emily aside, avoiding the spill.
If only he hadn't been so rough. He nearly choked her with her collar.
Gentle, are you okay?
Emily's face visibly turned red.
Gritting teeth, this fake charmer is really something.
Emily hurriedly thanked him and was about to leave when Sophia grabbed her.
Angry, you think you can just walk away after spilling egg drop soup on my shoes?
Shy, but it was you who.
Unfriendly, I don't care. Do you know how expensive these shoes are? They're made of delicate lambskin and can't get wet. You need to compensate me. Unfriendly, oh, right. I remember you got into college with a scholarship, didn't you? How could a poor person like you afford to pay? Tell you what, kneel down and clean my shoes, and we'll call it even.
Emily's face turned red with embarrassment. People around started pointing and whispering.
Whispering, and I was just enjoying the show.
Sure enough, the guy who had been smiling so innocently suddenly looked cold.
Angry. Who let this lunatic in?
With that, he pulled Emily away.
Shouting, you stop right there. You, ouch.
Sophia, wearing her lambskin high heels, stepped right into the egg drop soup and slipped. The crowd burst into laughter.
Serious, but I didn't laugh.
I saw that her carefully altered training pants had torn open. Sophia's outfit was obviously altered to fit her figure better, but it wasn't very durable. The tear in her pants was so big that it even exposed her underwear. I watched as she sat on the ground, panicking, too afraid to stand up for fear of exposing herself further. The people around laughed without restraint. Even Lily and the others beside me were laughing gleefully. I stood up, but Lily pulled me back.
Serious, what are you doing? You're not thinking of helping her, are you? Come on, she deserves it. Why would you bother with someone like her?
Friendly, yeah. Max, you don't need to worry about her. Did you know? Someone from her department made a campus beauty ranking, and she's at the top.
Angry, top of the beauty ranking? Who voted? Are they blind?
Sad Max glanced at Sophia, who was sitting on the ground, crying uncontrollably.
Thinking, to be fair, she is quite pretty. If the only requirement for being the school beauty is looks, she definitely qualifies.
With a sigh, Max took off her jacket and walked over to cover Sophia's exposed legs.
Serious, let's not be too harsh. We're all girls here.
Sophia looked up, stunned. She probably never expected Max to be the one to help her. Max didn't expect it either. She just glanced at Sophia, then turned around and took the buns and fried dough sticks from Emily's hands, leading her to their table.
Cheerful, come on. Everyone's waiting for you to eat.
Eric, that fake playboy, gave Max a meaningful look, then glanced at their table full of gossiping girls, shook his head with a smile, and walked away.
Unfriendly humph, as if I didn't know he was in a hurry to bring breakfast to Sarah. I seriously suspect that Sarah was able to come to our school for training because of some backdoor deal he arranged. Absolutely.
He left, and Emily shyly asked,
Shy Max, who was that just now?
Serious, my brother. He has a girlfriend. Don't get any ideas. Shy, oh.
No one cared about what happened to Sophia behind them. All Max knew was that she had to redeem herself for the embarrassment at the school TV station. So, in the following days, she was unstoppable, performing exceptionally well. Best in formation? Hers. Best in housekeeping? Hers. Top shooting score? Hers. When the entire school had to select 4 flag bearers for the report performance, of course, she was one of them.
Excited when the results came out, the school forum exploded that night. It was filled with her photos. All of them. The question arose, why was a girl chosen as a flag bearer when it was supposed to be 4 boys? They even questioned her orientation, saying she couldn't win over the school beauty, so she cornered her in the girls' restroom. Unfriendly, they questioned the school. Why let someone with such ambiguous orientation live with several pretty girls in a large dormitory? As a result, the girls in the dorm were furious. Lily rolled up her sleeves, ready to confront her dad, but before she could leave the dorm, a bald man came storming in with Sophia. Shouting, "Max, who arranged for you to live in the arts department dorm? Move out tonight. How can someone like you be allowed in the girls' dorm? It's outrageous, simply outrageous."
Max didn't even look at Mr. Brown, just glanced at Sophia. She was standing there with her arms crossed, looking smug.
Serious, thinking, I really didn't know what she was so proud of. Even if I didn't live here, so what? Did she know that the small garden prepared for professors was just a wall away from our school? If it weren't for my dad insisting on keeping a low profile, who would want to live on campus? Wouldn't living at home be much more comfortable?
Lily wasn't happy about it.
Angry Director Brown, what do you mean by your arts department dorm? The dorm management rules don't specify allocation by department, do they? Besides, where do you expect Max to move to at this hour? Isn't this just bullying? Shouting where she moves is not my concern. Anna, let me tell you, just because your dad is the department head.
I sneered inwardly. You don't just play one game, you play 2. Your family is famous for double standards.
No way, we're not moving until we get an explanation. Why do you say this is your art department's dorm? Besides, when we entered the school, dorms were assigned randomly. Why should we move just because you say so?
Randomly assigned? Randomly assigned to this? What kind of luck is that? I think this dorm was clearly set up as her harem.
Sophia's words were like a bomb going off.
Enough, Sophia! Don't go too far!
Other students chimed in.
Exactly, this dorm isn't just for the art department. Emily is from the finance department.
Max even helped you in the cafeteria before, and now you're acting like this?
Come on, even a traitor is better than her.
All right, that's enough. Which department are you from? Do you still want to stay here? She won't move, right? Fine, if she won't move, you will. Pack your things immediately.
Just then, Anna appeared with her father, Mr. Johnson, like a deus ex machina.
Who is making my student move dorms in the middle of the night?
I knew it would come down to using parental connections. It's a bit sad, really. Mr. Brown was taken aback.
Mr. Johnson, you're just in time.
Just in time? I'm late. If I were any later, you'd have kicked my student out. Let's go ask the principal when this dorm became exclusive to the art department. Is it only for art students? Come on.
Mr. Brown's face turned red and then white.
Fine, other departments can stay, but not someone with a name like that. Just listen to it. It doesn't sound decent at all.
Huh. The name might be a bit casual, but how is it not decent?
As a teacher, what kind of talk is that?
What's wrong with what I said? I'm being responsible for the students. Someone like that shouldn't stay in a shared dorm.
If she doesn't stay in a shared dorm, where should she stay? What, like your niece, you want to arrange a single room for her too?
Hit where it hurts. With one sentence, Mr. Johnson silenced Mr. Brown. The dorm change issue was left unresolved. But the next day, rumors exploded on the campus forum again. This time, the scandal involved Lily, who, in a fit of rage, revealed her father's position as the department head. Truly, heart-wrenching. I was already numb to it all. At that moment, I was rehearsing the flag-raising ceremony with 3 other handsome guys. Yes, I'm a girl, but I'm 6 feet 2. Yes, I'm a girl, but I'm handsome. Yes, I'm a girl, but I'm the standard bearer. I saw Sophia standing not far away, glaring at me with her tiny umbrella. Eat your heart out. Heh. While we were rehearsing, I saw David with a group of student council members fiddling with the sound system on the podium. That fake charmer saw me and waved with a smile that was almost flirtatious. The 3 other guys all looked at me.
Didn't expect that, Max. You swing both ways?
Didn't think even Senior Eric could be attracted to you. Impressive.
So, Max, do you like boys or girls?
Don't be so rigid about gender. If you're looking for a boyfriend, consider me.
Consider your grandmother's leg. Sophia clearly saw Eric waving at me too, and she was so angry she threw her umbrella and left. If she hadn't thrown her umbrella, I would have forgotten she was trying to get information about my brother. Want to be my sister-in-law? Dream on. Can you fly a helicopter? Finally, the day of the performance competition arrived. As the flag bearer, I successfully completed my task and then retreated to the corner of the stage with 3 other handsome guys, boredly watching each class formation pass by the stage. Next came speeches from the principal, the leaders, the head of the school, the student council president, and the student representative.
Why is Sophia the student representative? She hasn't participated in a single day of military training.
But that wasn't the most important part. The most important part was that she asked a few questions in front of the entire school.
Why are instructors allowed to have ambiguous relationships with trainees? Why are people with ambiguous orientations allowed to live in the girls' dormitory?
The whole place was in an uproar. Sophia stood there, stubbornly looking at me. Before I could say anything, a voice came over the loudspeaker.
Emily, did you put the stuff in her makeup? Why is her face still fine? Do you not want your scholarship anymore? If you don't care about the subsidy spot, I can give it to someone else. Is she a man or a woman? Did you take the photos I asked for? Is it that hard to take a photo with her since you share a dorm room? Emily, don't think that just because you're in the finance department, I can't deal with you. In this school, there's no one I, Sophia, can't handle.
At this moment, Emily walked onto the stage, took the microphone from David, and said to the shocked Sophia.
That was my phone recording. Didn't expect that, did you? I recorded every call you made to me. I also recorded your threats when you dragged me into the woods. You took photos of me. If you have the guts, go ahead and expose them. Sophia, if you dare to release those photos, I will take legal action. At that point, I won't need any scholarship. The compensation from you will be enough to cover my tuition through graduate school. Let's see if I can sue you into bankruptcy.
It was as if someone had thrown a bomb into the crowd. All the classes erupted like mushroom clouds. And it wasn't over yet. Sophia seemed to be triggered by something and shouted.
Are you crazy? Don't you like Eric? Don't you know she was also trying to get close to Eric? Don't you know?
Who wouldn't like someone as outstanding as Eric? But you know nothing and spread rumors everywhere, even posting lies on the school forum. Sophia, you said there's no one in this school you can't handle. Do you think there's no one who can handle you? You are foolish and ridiculous. What about the law? Do you think the law can't handle you?
At this point, Eric stepped forward, holding a stack of documents.
These are the IP addresses we asked our friends in the information college to trace. Sophia was smart enough to post from an internet cafe outside the school. But Sophia was also naive. All internet cafes now require ID for access. So, All the IP addresses and her internet usage times and locations can be matched, not to mention the surveillance footage from the cafe itself. Additionally, let me reintroduce myself. Sophomore in the law school, Max, is my sister. Same father, same mother. My dad's last name is Smith, and my mom's last name is Ma. We have a harmonious family and a strong sibling bond, so there's no need for wild guesses. Also, she may look androgynous, but she's very cute. If any guys want to pursue her, you'll have to get past me first.
After the performance competition, I was socially dead for a whole month. I became famous to the extreme. The most handsome school belle, anyone? Yes, I am now the top of our school's belle list. I don't even know how this was decided. I always feel that the people who vote for this must have something wrong with their heads. Speaking of something wrong, Sophia took a leave of absence due to narcissistic delusions and bipolar disorder. So sometimes people really need to watch what they say. Some people, whatever they curse, it comes true. David took Sarah and all the fairies from our dorm out for a meal. When they found out that the instructor was his girlfriend, whom he had pursued since childhood, the fairies collectively experienced heartbreak.
What did I say? Fake playboy.
After that meal, David sent Sarah back to the neighboring aviation college, and I escorted the 7 fairies back to the dorm.
Max, isn't Eric's dad that famous nuclear physicist?
I nodded.
And you're his biological sibling?
I nodded again.
Then doesn't that mean?
Shoo. Keep it low-key. No matter how famous they are, I'm just a law student. What does it have to do with me?
As the cafeteria chef said, in our family, having one person to carry on the family name is enough.